Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today, my group and I are excited to present our title, which is Islam, Iman, Ihsan and Sa'ah. This study discusses the Hadith of Jibril, which is the second Hadith from Imam Nawawi's 40 Hadith, which includes the element of Islam, Iman, Ihsan and Sa'ah, that the Day of Judgment. This Hadith is not only the foundation of Islam, but also a comprehensive guide in the formation of morals and preparation for the afterlife. In addition, the study touches on the interpretation of Hadith, the manners of seeking knowledge, the basic concept of Islam, Iman, Ihsan, as well as the relationship between these elements that fosters spiritual and physical balance. In Malaysia, these elements are taught in Islamic education since the primary school level, and studies show that they need to be widely applied to produce people with noble morals and a balanced society. So, let's dive in and explore their significance together.
Next, we move on to Sharah Hadith. In Islam, knowledge is acquired through learning, not through dreams. Teachers must exhibit high manners and treat all questions wisely, leaving out unknowns. Islam is a religion from God, a source of revelation sent down through Jibril alayhi salam, and is suitable for all mankind in every place and time. The three main pillars of Islam are the pillars of Islam, the pillars of faith and Ihsan. The pillars of Islam consist of 5 things. First, saying the 2 words of Shahadah, praying 5 times a day, paying zakat, fasting in Ramadan, and performing haji at the Baitullah in Mecca. Next, the pillars of faith consist of 6 things. First, believing in God, His angels, His books, His messengers, the day of resurrection, and Qadar and Qadar destined from God. The perfection of a believer is achieved when they fulfill all the pillars of Islam, complete the demands of all the pillars of faith and Ihsan. Islam is not perfect if it is taken from only the outward, inner or spiritual aspects. Now, we will discuss about manners of seeking knowledge from Hadith. First, prepare yourself politely and civilized. In this Hadith, Jibril alayhi salam came in the form of a man with clean clothes and a well-groomed appearance. This shows the importance of attending to study in a polite, clean and orderly manner, respecting the teacher and the council of knowledge. Next, ask with good intentions. For example, Jibril alayhi salam asked the Prophet Muhammad about Islam, Iman, Ihsan and the last day, not because he did not know, but to teach knowledge to the companions. This shows that asking questions with the intention of understanding or sharing knowledge is an important manner in seeking knowledge. Next, respect the teacher. For example, Jibril alayhi salam said respectfully in front of the Prophet Muhammad, knees to knees, showing how to interact with the teacher respectfully and attentively. Next, choosing relevant questions. Jibril's questions are very specific and relevant, focusing on important matters in religion. This teaches students to ask useful questions and not waste time with trivial questions. Next, ensuring knowledge is practiced. The discussion about Islam, Iman and Ihsan reminds us that knowledge is not only to be kept but needs to be translated into charity and sincerity. Next, be polite in receiving answers. For example, when the Prophet Muhammad answered, Jibril alayhi salam acknowledged the answer by saying, true. This shows the manners of listening well, acknowledging the truth of knowledge and not arguing without grounds. And lastly, understand knowledge comprehensively. This hadith covers the fundamentals of Islam, faith, Ihsan, and the sign of the how. This teaches that seeking knowledge should cover all aspects of life, both external and internal.
Next, we go to lessons the coming of Jibril from the hadith. Firstly, manners in learning. Jibril alayhi salam showed very high manners when meeting the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, which he came with any appearance, sit close to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and ask questions politely. This is show how a student should respect his teacher when gaining knowledge. Secondly, the importance of learning. Jibril alayhi salam came with the purpose of educating the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his companions about the fundamentals of religion. This shows how important knowledge is in human life. Thirdly, the importance of asking to understand. Jibril alayhi salam asked the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam about basic religious matters. The questions asked show deep curiosity but with a sincere intention to understand, not to challenge. Next, courage to speak. Jibril alayhi salam showed the courage to dialogue with the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam in front of the companions. This teaches us not to feel ashamed or afraid to ask questions for the sake of goodness and knowledge. Lastly, delivery of knowledge gradually. Jibril alayhi salam arranged his questions to to the Prophet ﷺ in stages, starting with Islam that is outward practice, followed by Iman that is inner belief, and finally Ihsan that is perfection of worship. This shows that knowledge needs to be presented in stages to facilitate understanding and be effective.
Okay, next, definition of faith. Linguistically, the word iman is taken from the verb amana, which means to believe, or yu'minu, which means to believe or to justify. It also has the same meaning as itikad, but in a different sense. Meanwhile, in terms of literal understanding in Islam, iman means to believe in Allah. The definition of faith according to Islamic terminology is stated by Ali bin Abi Thalib radhiyallahu anhu, which means faith is speech with the tongue and true faith with the heart and action with the lungs. Imam Al-Ghazali explained the meaning faith as conviction with the tongue, makes conviction with the heart permissible and practice it with them. In accordance with the hadith of the Prophet Muhammad, above it is clear that there are 6 pillars of faith that must be believed in order to become a perfect Muslim. First, belief in Allah. Second, belief in angels. Third, belief in the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. 4, belief in the prophets and messages. 5, belief in the day of judgment. 6, belief in qada and qadar.
The meaning of Islam. Islam comes from the Arabic word salam, which means peace, submission, and surrender. It signifies achieving peace by submitting fully to Allah, will and surrendering oneself to His guidance. Islam emphasizing harmony with oneself, other, and the Christian true belief in one God, and following the teaching of Prophet Muhammad. The 5 pillars of Islam. The first is Shahada. Shahada is the declaration of faith in one God and His messenger. The second is Salah. Salah is the ritual prayer required of every Muslim 5 times a day throughout their lifetime. The third is Zakat. Zakat is the act of giving a portion of a Muslim wealth to those in need throughout their lifetime. The fourth is Saum. Saum is the act of fasting during the holy month of Ramadan. The last is Hajj. Hajj is the sacred pilgrimage to Mecca required of every Muslim, at least one of in their lifetime, if it is within their means.
Okay, next, definition of Ihsan. Ihsan means to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as if seeing Him or being aware that Allah sees all our action with sincere intention and in the best manner, both outwardly and inwardly. For example, Ihsan in worship. Performing worship sincerely as to seeing Allah and being aware that Allah sees us. Second, Ihsan toward parents, like caring for parents with love and respect. Third, Ihsan in work, being honest, trustworthy, and giving the best in work with the intention of fulfilling responsibilities. Fourth, Ihsan in the environment, keeping the environment clean, not littering, and planting trees for the benefit of nature. And last, Ihsan toward animals, providing food and water for animals, treating them with care and avoiding cruelty.
Next is the Day of Judgment. The Day of Judgment, also known as a Hari Kiamat, is the end of the world when all Christians will be resurrected and held accountability for their action before Allah. It is fundamental belief in Islam, emphasizing that its worldly life is temporary and serve as a test for their hereafter. On that day, every individual will be judged based on their deed, determine their internal destiny in paradise or hell. This belief reminds Muslims to live a life of righteousness, sincerity, and devotion to Allah, preparing for the ultimate accountability. Next is Sign the Day of Judgment. Sign the Day of Judgment divided to 2 things, which is major signs and minor signs. The first major signs is the emergence of Dajjal. The second is the emergence of Imam Mahdi, and the third is the descent of Prophet Jesus. Next is minor signs. The first minor signs is many disasters occur. The second is the amount of injury. And the last is women who are dressed but naked.
Next, the relationship examples and difference between faith, Islam, and Ihsan. Okay, first is relationship. Faith, Islam, and Ihsan are 3 important elements in Islam. Like a house, faith is the foundation, Islam is the wall and the building, and Ihsan is the roof and other ornaments. Second, examples. First, faith, the examples are praying to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and reading the holy book Al-Quran. Second, Islam, establishing 5 daily prayers and always maintaining the Shahada. Third, Ihsan is kindness to parents such as loving, caring, and kindness to the poor such as giving money, food, and so on. Okay, next, third, the difference between faith, Islam, and Ihsan. First, Islam includes outward practices. Second, faith includes conviction in the heart. And third, Ihsan includes the way and feeling of a Muslim in worship.
Next, the lesson we can take from the Hadith. First, Islam is divine religion from Allah, suitable for all places and times. Second, Islam must be practiced in all aspects, both outward and inward. Third, a believer's perfection is achieved by fulfilling the pillars of Islam, faith and Ihsan. Fourth, belief in the Day of Judgment is obligatory, but its date is known only to Allah. Fifth, religious knowledge should be learned from authentic sources like Quran, Sunnah and scholarly works. Sixth, signs of the Day of Judgment include a mother giving birth to her master and the poor becoming wealthy.
In conclusion, the second hadith from Hadith 40 of Imam Nawawi contains the essential essence of the foundations of Islam, namely Islam, faith, Ihsan, as well as a reminder of Sa'ah, which is the Day of Judgment. This hadith reminds humans of their great responsibility as caliphs on earth to prosper the world with obedience to Allah and noble morals. At the same time, it emphasizes that knowledge of the Day of Judgment only belongs to Allah, but its signs need to be a reminder to humans to always be prepared with good practices. By understanding and appreciating the guidance of this hadith, Muslims can live a balanced life between worldly demands and preparation for the hereafter.